because they don't want alert supervision. When you belong in our profession, we say you must have supervision to help someone.
Yes. Just also wanted to say that I've been to many of these type of conferences, and it really stirs your emotions, and it's really natural. The girls here, what you experience is actually very normal, and people do have challenges in their life, and it's okay. It's okay to feel like that. And you'll go home and you'll feel better. You'll go to your family, you'll talk. But please know that this is a very natural reaction to a forum that you're doing here at the moment. So just talk. Keep talking to your friends, to your family on how you feel, and don't be scared.
Hey guys, I run an online peer support group. It's called Katane. It's Zambian for hold on to each other. Anybody who wants to join, that is my number there. We have a lot of peer support trainings, a lot of discussions. I have a few professionals on board who work with me because I only have my lived experience. So please, for those who would want to join such a space, it's an online WhatsApp space that is very safe. Okay? So for those who want to join, that's my number. Just reach out to me. And please, let's plan one thing. And I want to tell this to you. I have gone through my own mental health journey. But what you're going through in your own way. If anybody comes and tells you that I have gone through the same, or we understand, no, I don't. Your experience is unique. And that is why people like me, or people with lived experience, are very important. So please, I wish I had more time. But
Any YouTube, Instagram?
Once you check out mentally and silence, there are links there. And for GBHPN still there are links there. You can check out the website. I have even put my email address. Just reach out. I may not be able to do everything, but I will respond and I'll try to connect you with the people I know who can be able to help you. I know doctors, I know therapists, so I know when you tell me you are feeling depressed and talking to me is not enough, I will link you to some of them. I will talk to some of them to provide support if they can, whatever it is that I can. Because I have been in very dark places, and I was just telling you, recently in April, I was down. And it has taken professional peer support systems, medication, a lot of love, a lot of understanding for me to be where I am. And I'm not perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm still a work in process. And so are we. So let us hold space for each other. Let us love each other.
It is okay. Thank you.
Make a comment, just a comment, because these are our children. I'm the nursing officer at MRI University. I'm a mental health nurse, and I know that in the university we have counseling students. We have a student counselor who is a PhD holder, and in the whole department. In the clinic, we have a counseling department with counselors who are sitting there, and we have peer educators, students. Every year we have peer educators that are trained, where we ask our students to sit for class within their peers. And if there is any problem that is beyond them, then they refer this case to us. So it is good for you to know that there are systems, there are help systems in the university. Don't feel like you are all alone. It's because so far like we have no help on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you continuing with the feedback? Are you putting down the feedback, whether your expectation was met or not? and what needs to be improved. So put down those feedbacks so that you can bring forth. The last question now, before we move to the next step, which is the final step, then we...
Yes, good evening. Oh, good afternoon. I'm Frederick Esiaba. I'm the Executive Director of University and College Students Mental Health Ambassadors of Kenya. So we have been carrying out events in tertiary institutions. And what we realized is that majority of the problems that we colleges are facing sometimes are caused by the administration. Most of them are caused by administration. For example, last week, on Friday, many universities were graduating. And we had a call from Maseno University that some 3 students were almost committing suicide. Why? Because they were to be on the graduation list, but on the last minute, wakatolewa kwa graduation list. So imagine you have promised your parents, maybe ametoka all the way from Narok to Maseno. Then on the D-Day, you find that you are not on the graduation list. So what we're encouraging our colleagues, because I'm also a comrade and also lost friends through that, we're encouraging them to reach out. And we have a slogan that normally say, Tubonge to control. Tubonge to control. So if you have any issue, kindly talk to your friends. People are going through a lot. Comrades are going through a lot. Our generation Z, ni kubaya kidogo. And everyone is blaming us. Na tukiangalia vizuri, ilianzia huko chini when how we grew up, how we were raised up. Because most of us were raised by the maid, most of us were raised by maybe single mom or by single dad. So we don't know about life. We don't have that ability to cope into the life. So if you have a chance, kindly help that comrade. To the administration, the ZTEC and the Masai Mara, kindly make sure that you are counseling department.
I'm privileged to be the one of the members who work with Sister Naomi, and I'm the vice chairperson here, as she said. And I'll pose my question to Dr. Ayuya and her, Sister Naomi. As you talk to students in schools, you know that the major concern comes from social workers, and Barbara can attest this. Someone said in the morning, I don't remember it was who, that those social workers are not trained to work with students, right? Like, if you go to...
Misconception.
Yes.
Professional, the name tells a professional. Social worker, counseling psychologist. So a teacher can give you therapy. They can advise. Yeah, so professional.
So you will get that you had yesterday, and you asked that question, that you are facing someone in the office, and you'll just tell you, just go and refer, or just do this and this. And one of the victims, I had a balance of 988, and someone was telling me, go and refer.
That's right.
988. So, and you'll realize that the most problems of students are caused by those people in offices. So, my question is, as you are counseling those students, how do you do, which measurements do you take so that you also eradicate the problems coming by facing those in offices? Yeah.
I think for Masai Mara, there's something coming up. Maybe the ones who are here and those who are coming from staff, there seem to be structure issues. We need to know where do students go to address financial problems, academic problems, registration problems, and counseling problems. Every university has a structure of the counseling office for students. We really need to see whether university students can now talk and come up with a strong structure so that we don't take financial issues to social work. It will really be difficult. You just do the same. In fact, it is. But what if you feel you don't have the finances? You need someone just to encourage you. It's not the end of the world. You can still do it. That is a counseling psychologist who can listen. But who can write a letter and write the financial money and say, I'm in this deep situation. can you help me do the exam? Like, surely, 998 shillings is less than 1,000. Why is someone should tell you before? Doesn't make any sense to me. So, as a Maasai institution, I think we also need, I don't know whether it's going to be the VC did the interview last week. So, sorry, Prof. So, it's going to be the VC. Please listen to me. When you go there, make the structure strong. So, my point is that we can encourage students, but for us in Daystar, we can also ask them to benchmark. As we have a very strong student counseling and compassionate center, we don't interfere with counseling issues. They deal with it 100%. If you come for me, ma'am, just say you miss an exam, I don't want to see you, I'll give you an E. Now, I'll change my two positions from a therapist to a teacher. I'm giving you an E, no negotiation. But when you come for therapy, I'll say, okay, I'm sorry, but that is a difference. So I have to keep wearing those two faces. So I would encourage, we are lucky that Masai Mara is here. If you can talk for KU, for Nairobi University, especially public universities, I can tell you we can understand. You are so many, and the resources are very few. Let's see how best we can utilize the outside resources, also not to burden the university resources because they will not help you. Try and utilize outside resources.
I can assure you, Masai Mara counseling is well taken care of. It's just a mix-up of these. And the school of this deals with those other issues.
Registration, finance.
But for counseling with a problem, it is well done.
Thank you. Lastly.
So I would like to say that it's high time we as Congress, we advocate for friendly workers in our education institution. That's why we are here as USMA, because we are moving across the country trying to do partnership with universities, and then we want that partnership so that they can speak with one voice.
Way to go.
That's why we are here.
Yeah.
So with that issue, I think we can meet a team from Taimara, because we from Mateno. So we try to advocate for friendly workers within education administration.
You have the answers.
Okay. From what I am listening to, it's like there is a miscommunication. There is a lot of miscommunication within the institutions. And you know, I have passed through public universities. And I remember there was a time I was almost being chased away that I will not do my exam because my payment was not reflecting on the system. Yet I'm not the one who uploads. But what did I do? When you are doing your exam, you carry your payment receipts, isn't it? So when the lecturer read the names and told us, "Kama jina yako haiko hapa, toka," I told them that I have paid. And so we were just giving receipts and then you are told, sit down and do your exam. So I think as much as we want our institutions to solve our issues, I think the first thing is to understand the system. And then, we are dealing with human beings, right? And I believe if you go to ask an accountant, sasa sitakamia mtihani, kazi yake ni kuitisha pesa. Ndio. Kama hujalipa, accountant anajua hujalipa. Ndio. So I don't expect a very kind answer from a financial department ukimuuliza utafanya nini. Ndio. But you can go to the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance, to write a note to take to the right place. So I think I give you a challenge. Because you are dealing with mental illness, can you try and find out what triggers this? Because if we do the Oishe mentality, we are being targeted, we are the problem. They are the problem as we are the good ones. We will think deeper, isn't it? So kindly, let us analyze the problem. If it is communication, how is it going to happen? Is it supposed to happen? As we go down to the university, please, even first years, I mean, it's for orientation. By the way, I used to get lost at KU, nikitafuta civic class, general common unit. So, there are those systems that as student leaders, you can set down if the university is not cooperating. So you set a standard whereby a student anafaa kufanya nini. You put those standards. You're supposed to understand your university. When you have this problem, you're supposed to go to this department. If it doesn't work, you go to this other one. Otherwise, we might be finding we will be very frustrated. For sure, if you ask, for example, a social worker, nitafanya nini na sina school fees, huyo mtu atakusaidia. But if you go to the VC and tell them, by the way, I have a debt of 988, and I promise I'll pay. The VC will give a the VC, the finance, surely, niatisa. You see, so let us seek help where it can be found. I think even the Bible says so, isn't it? Let us seek help where it can be found, but that is through understanding the system, right? But I know it shall be welcome.
Thank you. Let us clap for her. Let us give her 2. 1. There we go. 1, 2. Thank you so much for those questions and answers and comments. Monica, you will assist us collect the comments from the audience. Now we are going to the very special part of the festival, which is we are going to present gifts to the people living with disabilities, and we request Madam Rebecca Bohr to come forth and take us through in a maybe some minutes, about 2-3 minutes. Then we move to the next final stage. Then we call it a day. Yeah. Thank you. Pictures for all the gifts, and those who are taking photos. If I don't find these photos, you will move out of this country. You will go to exile.
We charge per second billing.
Okay. If you don't want to go to exile, I want to see these pictures later in the evening. Tuwaweke hata amen weka huru kweli. Okay.
You want to speak to them? Yes, and I want to say something.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, I think I mentioned that I'm a passionate environmentalist or a self-made, and in my journey, at some point I got paralyzed. I actually lost both up and lower mobility, and I couldn't even scratch my skin or even answer the phone. So, and I was scheduled to undergo a very delicate operation in India, and I wasn't going to pay a cent. Actually, everything was paid for by my employer. And I looked at myself and I said, I was told by the doctor that it's so delicate because it was a spine that there were going to be 3 options. Either I can get vegetative, or I could go mad, or get well. And the getting well was very slim. But let me tell you, God healed me. I didn't go for treatment. Nobody touched my body. Just God healed me. And by God healing me, I decided, I promised him that I'll pay forward. That for the goodness that he had on me. Because you can imagine how it is when you're rained on like his position when there's nobody to push him. It has happened to me. And I am a believer, and I believe what the Bible says, that I was hungry, I didn't have food, I didn't have clothes. I decided, God, for all the goodness, I will do this for you. And I'll be the voice, the voiceless. I am one of the ambassadors that we have a team of us. We are across Kenya. What we do is to identify the people with challenges, and we try and crowdfund. We look for donors, we look for partners, we look for people to support. I never sleep in my house up to midnight, up to 1 o'clock, looking for devices. I mean, I'm always looking out for somebody to touch. And I think so far I have done almost 2,000 of these pieces across Kenya. On Friday, I was going to be in Kakamega, I had donated 100 pieces. And the last Friday was the day we were going to. But now I thought I couldn't divide myself. I thought it was wise for me to be here, which really has been so impactful in my life. It's been so powerful that I don't regret missing Kakamega. I am happy that I came here. So this is a tricycle. This tricycle is for someone who has lost or has weak lower limbs, and they are able to push themselves together. It's a complete business unit. You can see it has a cool box. It has containers for selling either sweets, or you can sell cookies or pancakes, so that it's a complete unit. And I think before I just leave this room, I just make one single request before I hand over. I mean, is it to you and then to him? I don't know how we're going to do this. I would request us to help this, like my dad. We support him to start a soda business. What do you think? Yeah. So I'm going to get someone with a kofia. It will go round. Kidogo tu tuweze to make this idea complete. What do you think? Yes, nice. I always never leave a place without doing that. Or an M-Pesa. Yes, to this program, so that they can support him. And then you can also do mapping. Tell us how many. I've really tried to get into Narok. I have really tried. The consignment that went to Kakamega was meant for Narok, but I couldn't penetrate to ask them, how many people do you need, do you have? So can you do the mapping? Tell us how many people. We even have some devices that for people who have don't have both limbs. So I have them, some few in the office. But what is important is to work together so that we help our people. Well, people are suffering. And some people, like you find, even they don't even have things like clothes. I decided I'm mopping clothes. If you come to my office, I have a huge store. What I do, I just collect clothes. Unfortunately, we never remembered to bring clothes to Narok, but unfortunately, we'll still work another time. I think time was not enough. The vehicle also was not enough. We could have carried enough to share with our brothers and sisters. So what we're going to do, I need a picture of him in that situation. Because the donors, and don't stand behind it, please. Because the donors are very keen in their instructions. We need a picture of before and after. So, picha yake tu peke yake, mzuri. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah. So we will assist him to sit on this car. You imagine it is a car. You carry your mzigo, you know the way you can, like I was seeing, he cannot push himself. So this is able to push him to drive himself. He will have his luggage underneath and do business. Yeah. So this idea. Picha imachukuliwa. Alafu iko na brake, iko na safety belt.
Jackson Saoli.
So we also need to have another picture of Sauli alone behind. And Sauli, I'm sure, sijui kama ataongea kitu ndio tunaweza tukapia pamoja na video. So take a picture of you. Kuna mtu? Picture kwanza alafu video anaweza ongea.
Nashukuru sana kwa hii gari mmeniletea. Nashukuru kwa hii gari. Nasema asante kwa watu wa Mungu wameleta. Mwendelee mwasaidia wale wajiwezi na bado Mungu atawasaidia. Karibuni nao wakati yote, tawakaribisha pia. Nashukuru sana. Amen.
No, I want us to. I will take another one. And then I will come here. Now you can actually all take a picture with him. And in my business now, for you to be able to get equity, you have to do something. You have, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That is my policy. So lazima Jackson uende upande miti. Hiyo ni na nimekuja na mbegu. Na hiyo mbegu nataka nikikuja sababu nitatembea na kupanga pin bali tricycle zangu ziko. Na kuja kuangalia miti yenye nitakupea mbegu. Hii inakuja na toolbox yake. So, iko complete. Nasema anafanya kazi ya viatu. Yes. All these come in the box, but I always recycle. I do it as the reuse, recycle and reuse. So I don't know how do we do. Maybe somebody else could guide us on how we can place something to put in the whole box, and then we want to hand over all these others. You will identify the beneficiaries. They use and borrow. You keep them in your office. Mtakuwa na shida naomba atatumia. Wanasaidia kwa ya wagonjwa. Akimaliza anarudisha. So itakusaidia na your community. So you can have it. I always encourage people to have something within reach. People suffer a lot. So maybe you can take this. So can we put this? You can put this. You can put this like that. There's somebody who needs. What does it need? Mbegu utabeba. Which one do you need? Mbegu atabeba mbegu mingi sana. Hii lazima nataka sana mbegu picha ya hii. We have a picture already. This is another donor I work with. Kazi yangu nikipeleka wheelchairs lazima upande miti. Kunisaidia kwa sababu I cannot be all parts of Kenya as an environmental, that's what I said. So So nikikupea kiti mpaka ufanyie nchi yetu kitu, hata utaongezewa sijui ataamua namna gani. Now I have another donation, and this donation, the sanitary pad. This is our CBO. See it there, Urbana. I'm a patron in this CBO, and what we have done, we are empowering our youth. This is their business. This is what I have been able to push for the CBO. They sell sanitary pads. And the sanitary pads, including the maternity pads, and university, you can do this. You can make money. So there is need for this in the university. This group, Universal College Students Mental Association, because I know you need money for advocacy. By the way, you can open up a small place in the university, and we will support you. We will see how you can get this at no subsidies, then you can do it as a business. Yeah, and even those who are looking. Yes, some pocket money you can sell. In fact, we are doing in the village now, in the slums. We have recruited sales agents. They come to my office, check and sell the pampers, the sanitary pads, and they go down in the slums. And that way, they don't have to be dependent on us giving them food. We give them up to some point, but we have to get an exit point where we give them now to be self-reliant. I have now something else that I gave. I think this is one of the items I was able to bring. This is a recycled rope from recycled material. Me, I collect. Anything in Natupwa, me, I don't waste any waste. See, we always ban this. How many of us ban? Or we throw them away to spoil our environment. See, this was made by a 95-year-old. And imagine, she doesn't borrow money. She makes like 3 of them in a day. And 3 of them is about, she sells one like, her price is kubwa, and also 500. 95-year-old. Anashonanga ukipata midnight, anashona kamba. This is just collected. Every time in the streets I collect. Just a plastic bag. It's for tying. It's plastic rope. The one we use to tie. So we are looking at money, but there's so much money around us. It's only that we need to open our eyes and learn, be more creative. Actually, this is the work of my mother. Yeah, and my mother even get money from her when I'm broke. Now money is coming from waste. You can imagine. So this is nice. It's something that I want to encourage. This is a pastoral community. They have goats, they have sheep, they have cows. Sometimes others need to be teaching somewhere. So this would be very helpful, and even students, you can do this. Yeah. You can even create more other products. It doesn't have to be a rope. I was telling my mom now, I want us in Calais, we had something else we used to put milk cup of pieces. I come from London. So I'm just doing that project now with mom, so that we can make it, because sisal, we no longer grow sisal. So, and even people who do hanging flowers. The university, you can give us orders. We come and hang flowers. So we want to have green places. Huh? So these ropes can actually make those hanging, to hang our pots. Yeah, we can be so creative. And once you can make money, so this one, somebody can buy it. It's on sale. Sanitary pads, we've agreed. Anybody wants to do the business can contact me. So hii nataka picha tu ikipeana, maybe tutapata beneficiary. Nimeona kuna beneficiary ya hii, sijui itaamua aje. Yeah. So this is maternity. I'll show you office. So is there anything else? I think nimemaliza. It's not complete until I do it.
Ni toolbox na yeye iko na box yake. Ni ukitaka kufungua hizi kitu iko na screws mingi sana. So hiyo ni toolbox. Unaweza fanya biashara ya viatu, unaweza fanya biashara ya viatu na hii. Unaelewa? Yote pamoja. Sijui niambie nini wadhamini wametoka Amerika. Nimepewa idea. Nianzie wapi? Simu niingie kanduku kwa ndugu. Naitwa Rico.
Okay. His number.
No. It's not going to be big number. It's going to be bet number so that you can consolidate and support others. So we want to only start a sort of business for him. And maybe there's the cookie. So we'll know by today how much we are spending because we have other needs which are immediate today. Sawa?
Mshafika M-Pesa kwanza. Mko kwa M-Pesa, enda kwa icon ya M-Pesa. Anything. Enda kwa hiyo nini ya M-Pesa, wacha nipeane ya M-Pesa kwanza. Those of us who don't have cash, let us go to M-Pesa 0722 745 453. I'm going to repeat. 0722 745 453. Elijah Pay. 0722 745 453. Ningekuwa nimeanza kusikia to. If you have cash, you can put it in that. Did I get?
Over 2,000 years ago, everything changed for
Yeah. Raise your hand if kama unataka akuje karibu na wewe. I'm repeating the number 0722 745 453. 0722 745 453. Sora 722 745 453.
So as we continue, I just want to thank you. We are so much humbled. We are so much humbled for the amazing support that you've given us. Going forward, this journey has not ended. It is just a start. We will be communicating to you
because we'll be having some series of follow-ups of symposiums, summit in the early 2024. So let's keep in touch as we are planning other events ahead of time. So another thing is that I would wish to recognize Lewis here. Lewis is a scholar. He is one of the products of Masai Mara University. He has done several books, and one of them is the Kiliota Maskini. He has written a very good book. He has also helped us to help the United Nations Secretary General for Disability and Accessibility, Professor Maria Soledad. We were doing a fashion in Swahili for the whole of Africa. So the guy who assisted me is Lewis Mahida, and because the fashion had to be translated into Portuguese, Italian, Arabic, but in the whole of Africa, I was assigned that role and I was helped by Lewis. Can you clap for him? So besides that, he has completed, he has finished masters, as I think you are completing now, masters at Masai Mara University in Swahili. So he has done this book called Kilio cha Maskini. So if anyone wants to promote him, you can, I think he has several copies. So thank you for the hard work, Lewis, and we are praying for you and we also support you. Thank you. Do you have something to say? Great.
Allow me a bit and to speak in Kiswahili because this book says in Kiswahili. No problem. Okay. Natangulia kwa kuwasalimu. Hamjambo. Basi mimi ni Mswahili kwa kiwango fulani na mtaniruhusu niongee kwa Kiswahili. Mimi ni mwandishi wa vitabu kama hivi, lakini tumejitolea katika kundi letu hili MRI kuona kwamba tunatumia lugha ya Kiswahili, tuone kwamba watu wetu wako na akili ambayo ni nzuri. Unajua kwamba wakati mwingine tunasema ugonjwa wa akili umeathiri watu wengi, na ni kweli. Lakini tukitumia ubunifu wetu, kama wewe uko na shida fulani, ukitumia ubunifu wako kufanya kazi fulani, utaondoa shida zako za kiakili. Kwa hivyo nakwambia, ukiwa unahitaji kitabu hiki, ni Kilio cha Maskini. Kinaakisi yale ambayo yanatukia katika jamii. Wale watu wengi ambao wanapitia shida katika jamii, utapata wahusika. Nilisikia daktari wakati mwingine alikuwa anasema, sisi waandishi tunawaleta wahusika ambao wanaongea. Tunawaleta wahusika ambao wanakuwa na wengine wanakufa. Na sisi tunajenga wahusika kama hao. Kwa hiyo ukihitaji kitabu hiki, utanipata kwa nambari ifuatayo 0713 040 889. Na vitabu vingine, kuna diwani si mke wangu, utapata niliandika. Utapata kitabu kingine, uko wapi mama, lakini utapata ukinitafuta tu kwa kutumia namba hiyo. For the sake of the visitors, this is the one more that I'm trying to tell my fellow comrades, that if we have mental issues, sometimes we can use creativity to remove that kind of mental illness. For example, on my side, when I have something which is disturbing my mind, I can use my own creativity to write a book or to read a book, and in the process, I put away all those kinds of stress that I have in my mind. So I'm urging the comrades, if you have a lot of problems here and there, and you are so interested in reading or writing so many stories, just write so many stories, connect with me, and we will go to publish those books. So I want to end there, Sarisa, and I say thank you. Thank you, and welcome.
Okay, that our lunch is ready. So as we are going to wind up, I want to remind all of us that immediately from here, some of us will be going to Masai Mara University to plant the seeds that we have. So some of us, I know not all of us will go there, some of us, but after we are done, I want to give someone who's going to give us photo of thanks. It has been a very great session, and Mr. Pate told us that so tumeambiwa tumepata 1600